out there. Yeah, I got a video for you today. I'm back in the shop again. I got a 30-year-old boat. Last video I had to change out the trolling motor shaft. Before that I had some issues down in Florida I had to fix, and now I got a haze where I can't stand to look at my boat anymore. Oxidation is called, from the sun for over the last 27, 28 years. So I want to get that buffed up. I'm doing some other body work on it. So I'm going to take you through my process. And first of all the videos online doesn't necessarily mean that what they do is going to fix your boat. I've tried theirs and I haven't come up with a good solution yet. So this might seem like a low grit sandpaper. First of all, if you can't get it off by normal means, which I'm talking about as compound, you're going to have to wet sand it. I really didn't want to do that, but it's the only way I'm getting it off. And most people start at 800 grit, work up to 2,000. Some start at 1,000 or 1,200. Well, I tried all that and none of that has worked. I've dropped down to 320, and now I'm finally getting somewhere. It might sound like low to you, but it's working for my boat. Like I said, you gotta find out what works for your amount of oxidation you got. And well, I've got a lot evidently. So I'm starting at 320, I'm going to 600 grit, 800 grit, 1,200 grit, up to 1,500 grit. And yeah, that's a lot of work, 4 times around your boat. And then we're going to use compound. I like the 3M heavy gel coat, perfected. That's what the compound I'm using today is. And then, okay, I think we're on the 5th step, and we're going to go with the polish is 3M also. I like the perfected polish, and that's even got some grit in it. And then for the last step, which I think is step 6 or 7, I mean, there's a lot. This is a lot of work. We're just doing from the rub rail up, the top cap, all the way around the boat. And then for the final coat, it's going to be 3M wax. This is the least important step. Yeah, it's got UV protected, and you protect it all. But as far as getting rid of oxidation, this don't do nothing. This protects it after you're all done with all those steps. And I tell you what, I had a cheapo Harbor Freight buffer, and it wasn't getting the job done. So what I got was the DeWalt. This is the beast, and it will get the job done. You want a variable speed. Like, it starts out as low as 600, goes up to 3,500, and I've had to take it up to like 2,200 RPM when I'm using a compound and polishing it. And then there's a lot of different pads out there. I use wool for everything. That's what it takes to get my boat shining, and that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to say go to the, like, this is a fiber type buff pad, 7-inch. And then I had the foam pad, 7-inch. And none of that really worked. I'll stay with the compound, doing every step. And that's just what I'm finding out on my boat. It works for my particular boat. I'm not telling you to use what I use. I'm just saying have an open mind. Don't necessarily do everything exactly from watching videos on YouTube. Because I did all that and I ain't got nowhere. And now it's looking good. It will be looking good. I did a test spot, and I'll take you through my steps. All right, so first off, guys, we are going to wet sand it. And we're going to start out with 320. Then we're going to go to 600. Then we're going to go to 800. Yeah. Then we're going to jump up to 1500 for the final sanding. So here guys, starting out. You can see the oxidation. It's dull, very dull. And I'm tired of looking at that. So, step one, start wet sanding. Start with 320 grit. I've tried, started out with 800. And that just wasn't getting it done. I dropped down to 600. And that wasn't getting it done. So, we're going to 320. Hey, wet sanding, you want to, it's best, it works best to have a spray bottle. You want to keep it wet. We're going to go to 320 now. In between sandpaper changes, you want to wipe it down, wipe it off. Get the residue from sanding off. Put it down again. All right, it's your 320 now. Just do like a 2-foot section at a time. That way it's not so, doesn't seem like a monumental task just to get that done. Okay, let's wipe it down. Get some 800 paper. Okay, 800 grit. Wet it down. And squirt the sandpaper too. All right, wipe it off. Now we're going to do for our finishing sanding, we're going to bump up to 1500. And 1500 grit. Wet it down. I'm just doing this 2-foot section here for you, and you just go all the way around the boat, doing this same thing here, from 320, 600, 800 to 1500. This is what's going to work for me, I believe. I did a test spot. Do a test spot. I did it like maybe a 4x4 inch test spot on the very back of the boat. That way, if I screwed it up, you wouldn't notice it. And well, it took me a couple days to figure out how I wanted to do it. So, now we're going to compound this. Let's see, the right pad. Make sure you got the right pad on before you do this, because I don't like mixing products. I almost did that. This is my compounding one. I just write it on the back right there. I will take this one off. You want to wear a mask doing this, man. This stuff is flying off the boat. Okay. Make sure you get the right product. I've done that. I put on the wrong product. It's hell getting old. You can't remember nothing. So what this heavy cut 3M stuff is, it's liquid sandpaper. That's what it is. It's another sanding. It's liquid sandpaper. And it wasn't really doing a job by itself. I had to wet sand. So just get this stuff blotted on here before you turn it on high. Because if you don't, it's going to fly all over the place. You just have to wipe it up like this. Then you put it on your oil pad like this. Spread it around with your hand like this, so it doesn't fly off. And you want to do this in the shade too, because you don't want your product drying. Like on the wax part, you don't want your wax, on the directions say don't let your wax dry to a haze. Put it on and you start buffing it. But now we're on 3M heavy cut. This is the last sanding before I polish it. $600. I bumped it up to 1,800. As it gets to your, if your shoulders aren't in, if your shoulders are not in shape after, before doing this, they will be after. Especially if you get one of these, it's a beast. Like what I am going to do from the bottom on down. I'm not going to put that in the video. But you want to do a pattern like this. You go like an S pattern, and you go up and down, and then left and right. After what? After 5 rounds of basically sanding, polishing. I put down the compound. Now the polishing part is really where you should see a big improvement. You'll say to yourself, wow, this looks so good. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to get this whole boat done. After this step, that's when that should happen. So let's put some polisher on her and see how it comes out. Now let's take a break. This is time consuming and tough on the shoulders too. 65-year-old shoulders. Okay guys, on this little 2x2 section here, polishing. Got polishing left to do. And I've changed my compounding pad to my polishing pad. Make sure you don't forget about that. And I put down some polish, and we'll put down some polish here. This is my 3M polishing compound. It's called Perfected Machine Polish by 3M. Put it on the boat, and then I'll put it around the pad. Squash it around my hand. Start out at 600. I'll use light pressure when I'm polishing and buffing. Or no, polishing and waxing. I like to use light pressure. So let's see what this looks like. Yeah, guys, there's before. That's before, and there's after. Big difference. Big difference. All right, guys. Here's before. See how white that is? Now here's after. Before, after. Yeah, I'm thrilled with the way my boat looks now. So, I mean, one last step is to wax it. I'm not going to bother doing that and bore you with that. It's just another round of the boat, applying. Don't let this 3M wax dry to a haze. Put it on. As soon as you put it on, start buffing it. So yeah, I haven't done any fishing videos for a while. I've been sore. I got a nerve issue in my left leg. Doctors trying to figure out what that is. It could be my lower back. But yeah, I took I'm working 5 hours a day, trying to afford the latest in technology for my forward-facing sonar, and then pay off some other debts on my boating and fishing expenses I incur when I go to Florida. And so that's why I'm working now. Well, anyway, hope you enjoyed today's show. I'm going to continue to do some body work on my boat and get it looking as best I can and for as cheap as I can. So, so until next time, tight lines, and the next few videos, fishing videos, will be coming from Allen Creek. And so, have a good day and go get 'em.